The Visor Laser brings you highlights from the April regular Lawrence County Fiscal Court meeting.
In motion for the request from County Coroner Michael Lewis to approve the hire of another deputy coroner at $8,416.98 a year. Okay. I need a motion to request from Mike Wilson for approval of hire of another county deputy at $8,416.98 a year. One more time. I need a motion to request from County Coroner Mike Wilson to approve the hire of another county deputy coroner at $8,416.98 a year. No motion was made, so how do we do it, Mike? If no motion made, just say it's motion dead.
Motion was dead for lack of a motion.
Motion is go. Okay.
I wanted to bring up one thing on a jail prisoner, and let me try to make sense for the people that are here. As a prosecutor, sometimes you get forced into some situations that are hard to juggle the balancing of the issues. On one hand, I have a duty as a steward of the county's money to try to protect that money and to make sure that the county doesn't have to pay out excessive medical bills. And at the same time, I have a duty to the public to make sure that people that commit crimes are incarcerated. Okay? So in order to deal with that situation, a lot of times we have to look at the nature of the crime and whether or not the crime is violent or non-violent. Obviously, a violent crime doesn't matter if they have cancer. You know, someone that commits a violent crime is going to probably be incarcerated on a high bond unless they can make that bond. Recently, we had this gentleman, Tim Campbell, who has not committed any violent crimes, but has sort of been a serial con artist, is how I would classify this gentleman. He's a white-collar criminal that, I guess, held himself out to be some kind of computer guru that would take your medical records and scan them and put you in compliance with new federal regulations, yada, 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 and scammed a bunch of people. So he was in jail, and here's the problem that I had, and I wanted to put this out on the record so that it becomes clear of how I got forced into a situation that I didn't really appreciate how it came about, but yet let the citizens know how we're attempting to handle this. He was in jail on Johnson County charges on a felony indictment. Correct, Eric?
Yes, sir.
So the jail codes, counties are listed, I don't know, Adair, Anderson, all the way through whatever, Woodford, 001 through 120. Well, Lawrence County alphabetically is a 064, and Johnson County is a 058. So he was coded at the Big Sandy Jail as an 058. So that all his medical bills and all his daily cost of incarceration was being paid by Johnson County. Well, Ann Melvin was the Commonwealth Attorney. And she had the indictment on him, but she also had Lawrence County charges. So her being a resident of Johnson County, and who was the victim in that case? The Johnson County case was Now, I've been led to believe that the Johnson County victim was a family member of hers. She agreed to let his bond be unsecured on the Johnson County charges, knowing that he wasn't going to go anywhere. So if you have somebody that's coded in at the Big Sandy Jail as a Johnson County inmate that has Lawrence County charges on him as too, what you do is you just unsecure him on the Johnson County charges, but he goes nowhere. He stays in the same jail cell where he's at, and then you go down to booking and say recode him. He's not an 058 anymore, he's an 064. So then they just type it in 064, guess what? Now we're on the hook for this guy, and I guess he's in renal failure, incurred a bunch of medical bills. So, I don't think that's right. I think that stinks. I think that stinks that anybody would do that. And then all of a sudden, me and Phil Triplett are forced with the situation, okay, what do you do with this guy? Do we pay for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of medical bills? So, we had a hearing set up to whether Judge Preston was going to basically make me and the judge, county judge, go on the record and be the ones to say, okay, you want him out or not. Now, in the interim, he has been sent to LaGrange, which is the medical facility for the Department of Corrections. So right now, we sort of dodge the bullet. And as long as he stays down there, it's not really going to be a problem on his medical bills. I think, though, between the time that he was released on the Johnson County charges and held and all that medical treatment during that interim, I'm going to ask the court to direct the treasurer not to pay those bills until we can have some meaningful discussion with Johnson County. There needs to be a sharing of those medical bills.
Well, from what I understand, it's $103,000.
103. Okay, see, I see 30 or 40,000, and that's just not right.
Well,
I'm Anna Melvin. I'm the Commonwealth attorney, and I'm going to agree to release somebody on Johnson County charges. I live in Johnson County, but let's let the peons down there in Lawrence County pay for this man's medical bills. So I'm going to ask the fiscal court to direct the treasurer not to pay those bills, and we'll go to circuit court and let Paul B. Hall sort it out between Johnson and Lawrence counties.
we ain't paid none of that, Green.
At the same time, the court needs to pass, maybe we can do it. We need to pass this, that our billing for our prisoners, okay, our medical billing, be the same rates as the state pays. Because it boils down, what it boils down to, the state prisoners, what the state pays is like people who has a Medicaid card, okay? It's about a fifth of the charge.
So they're just billing county prisoners at the actually
Blue
Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Right, but if the county would pass it, that they will only pay the same rate as the state pays for prisoners on medical.
Yeah, we already passed that, Mike. I want y'all to copy this.
We did pass that years ago, but we can't find it.
I brought a
minutes.
copy of it.
Oh, did you
And
find
I found it. I thought I gave a copy to you all. And we found it.
it? You did find it?
Yeah, I brought a copy of it. Phil has a copy. Yeah, there's.
I don't want you to pay any at the state rate or the rate was billed.
Somebody make a motion?
Absolutely, that's my recommendation. And I'm not saying we don't owe them some money.
Yeah.
These people deserve to be paid if they treated this gentleman. They deserve to be paid. But under the circumstances, I don't see how that Johnson County can't share in the cost. It's absurd. It's just certain things don't pass the smell test. They don't pass the smell test for me.
I think so far they could spend about 80,000, we got 20,000 plus. So the 103, and we started paying, I think, 31st, and they got a bill from the 25th to the 31st. 1 hour thing. Yeah, he's still on Johnson County charge at that time. See, that lady that works with the jail fire, she was telling me the other day that Mr. Tucker, he wanted Johnson County to pay the whole 103,000, and she told him, she said, no, sir. She said, you all had him as your prisoner, and she said, you'll pay that. She heard Mr. Tucker cut off the arm there was.
Well, let's just hold off on it and let me kind of just don't pay it. And then I can't say that. If they'll tell you not to pay it, then we'll digest all of this. Chris, do you have a copy of that?
We can find it. I gave Sean that copy. I think that should have. Yeah. that we can get it done.
So we just make a motion to not pay the bills further.
Until I can look into it and sort of, and I'll report back. And then if this resolution or executive order wasn't passed, I'll get it on the agenda for May.
Okay.
And we can pass it then.
Okay, so I need a motion to leave the, not pay the bills for Tim Campbell until further investigation for Mike Cole.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by John Jay,
I second that motion.
second by Morris, all those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carried.
You can hire, with the approval of the fiscal court, an extra deputy coroner. I agree with him on that. And by law, by state law, the minimum compensation that you all have to pay him is $250 a month. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, if you approve that position and you approve it at $250 a month, which is $3,000 a year, then that's where we'll stop right there. Then his legal advice is wrong, or you all are reading into what he said something that he's not saying. Okay, now let me make this clear. So far, does Mike Wilson have the right to hire an extra deputy coroner? The answer to that question is yes, with the approval of the fiscal court. Second question, what is the minimum compensation by state law that must be paid to that second deputy coroner? If he holds a certificate of continuing legal education or continuing education, the minimum salary is $250 a month. Period. Stop. The end of conversation. That's all this guy said. He does not go further and say, and all you have to pay him is $250 a month. What I'm telling you is this. You have a right to hire him and pay $250 a month. But you better divide $250 a month by $7.25 a month, and that's what you gave us, man. And I don't know. I'm just doing my hillbilly math in my head. That's 30 hours a month?
Yeah.
Give or take, 24, 26, that's all he can work. And nowhere in this article does he say you have a right to work this guy 40 hours a week and pay him $250 a month. That's what I'm saying.
So that throws the load back on the range again. In other words, you've got 7 days a week here, 24 hours a day, that somebody has to be in this county.
But I'm not advocating whether they should, whether y'all should or shouldn't approve a second deputy coroner. That's up to you guys. What I'm telling you is this. If you approve one and you only give him $250 a month, then what you said is you're only to work how many hours? If anybody got a calculator, they can take 250 and divide it by 725, and that'll tell you how many hours a week he's left to work. Otherwise, we can just reduce all these positions. You know, you just say the county attorney's going to work for $4,000 a year, but you better be down there to see those people. You better work those cases. The sheriff, he's only going to get $5,000 a year. You know, the deputies, Garrett, we're going to approve you 2 extra deputies. We're going to pay them $8,000 a year, but we want them out patrolling 40 hours a week. And there's precedent. When Bobby Workman and the fiscal court had to pay Rodney Williams $3,000 or $4,000. We filed $10,000, whatever it was. You know, you could approve Chris Job an extra deputy county court clerk and pay him $5,000 a year. You can't do it, and it's what I'm saying. Rich Ornstein, or wherever his name is, that this guy's name? You know. And sometimes I get a little, you know, maybe I shouldn't read too much into it either. I mean, you know, I don't have any problem. Y'all want to call down there and get legal advice, but I just call them like I see them, guys. I don't make my legal opinions to try to get to a desired result. You call them like you see it. So, you know, if you want to approve a position or not, it's up to you all. But if you approve one and you make it $250 a month, you've told the coroner that you can only work him. Is that how many did you do the math? 33 hours a month. That's all I'm going to say on that.